Hello everybody, I'm going to be here recording another Jund League. This should be the third upload of Jund Leagues. And so far I've been having a lot of fun doing it, and I'm hoping you are also having a fun time watching and hopefully learning as I learn along with you. So, as usual, or as will become usual, I'm going to start with the metagame snapshot. It is August 1st, 2020. And this is what we expect to see at the top tables. We've got blue-white control / Stoneblade, followed by Blitz. Of course, now integrating the new blue splash for the Stormwing entity. And then we've got Eldrazi Tron, and we've got a bit of a shift since the last video in these 3 through 5 decks. Jund, I believe, was 3rd or 4th just prior, and Sultai is making a resurgence with Uro. And then we've got the mainstayers like Gruul, Dredge, and even Scapeshift and Luris following close behind, along with other combo decks such like Goblins, and Amulet Titan. So I've made a few adjustments to the main deck and the sideboard to accommodate for the slight shift, and I'll go over those now. So what I've done is I've decided to go up on the number of Kolaghan's commands. This has been a result of all of the mid-range popping up, and even things like E-Tron it's good against. It doesn't kill many of their threats, but it does good for killing things like Chalices, Expedition maps if they haven't been popped, and things like Mind Stone as well. I've gone down a Kroxa since the last time I played the deck, and again that was just to make room for things like Kolaghan's command. I think the threat package is dense enough, so I'm okay shaving one of the Kroxas. I also think, again, looking at the breakdown, I will be very happy playing the 4th Liliana of the Veil, as I do want the Lilianas versus Blue-White, Blitz, E-Tron, to a degree against Uro, depends if they're playing Ice Fang. Definitely want it versus Jund. Less good versus Gruul and Dredge, but again, good against Goblins, good against the combo decks. So I think Liliana of the Veil is pretty well positioned given this snapshot. So I've gone up a Liliana of the Veil, and I have trimmed my one of Assassin's Trophy. So I liked since Liliana of the Veil is another piece of interaction, I was pretty okay with shaving a piece of interaction so that my overall ability to interact is about the same. I cut a Damping Sphere in favor of another Nile Spellbomb. Again, versus all the mid-range decks, Spellbomb is just fine because it replaces itself and eliminates its incidental value, such as against opposing Kolaghan's commands if I'm playing something like the Jund Mirror, or even to exile Seasoned Pyromancer from the graveyard. So I like Nile Spellbomb for its flexibility. It's never truly bad, but it has its corner cases where it's fantastic, and then obviously you can play against Dredge or something where it's great. I shaved the Brutality because I don't expect to see as much burn these days. It's fine against things like Prowess, but even there, it's not always guaranteed to be great, but I'll still bring it in. I also brought in another Huntmaster of the Fells. I know I mentioned in previous videos I don't expect any one sideboard card to really tilt the matchup in a mid-range versus mid-range favor, but in the top decor it can never hurt to have another mid-range card. And then again, given the snapshot, having just another generic good mid-range card may just be good. For example, against Blue-White, against Blitz, against Tron, against Sultai, against Jund, against Gruul. Like against these top 6 decks, I expect Huntmaster to be pretty serviceable, so I've added another one. So here's one last look at the deck, and I have made sure that I will be submitting the correct deck list this time. So we've got Jund, parentheses current. Let's go over to our matching tab. Alright, so we've got the correct deck list submitted this time. We've got one Kroxa 3k command. Yep, all looks good. Let's play a match and see how we do. Sounds excellent. So I feel like this is a pretty good highlight of why I like Abrupt Decay over Assassin's Trophy. Sure, Assassin's Trophy is kind of a catch-all, but you really don't want to be using an Assassin's Trophy before turn 4 or 5 because the value and tempo that you lose is just so immense in my opinion. And the opponent did mold a 5. Alright, let's just swamp Inquisition. Another Inquisition is going to be pretty good, assuming the opponent is on some form of blue-white Stoneblade. And they are indeed. Alright, I'll just take a Mana Leak. Force of Negation's not going to do a whole lot with another blue card. Also, I'm not particularly weak to a Force right now. I do want to stick this Liliana of the Veil, but it doesn't interact with my Tarmogoyf, which is my immediate pressure. And if they're going to 2-for-1 themselves to deal with Liliana, that's not overly unacceptable. They do have the path here, so I'll just go with another Inquisition. They could Mana Leak or Force of Negation this, but if they do, it's not particularly upsetting. Alright, so they drew a Jace the Mind Sculptor. I'm gonna need to set up so that I have the best odds versus this Jace. So I think I'll take the path such that the Tarmogoyf can adequately pressure it. I may just jam Liliana of the Veil next turn anyway, so that they're forced to pitch this Jace. But if I play Liliana of the Veil, and then they force it pitching a blue card that they've drawn, and they draw a land and play their Jace, I'm very behind. So I think I should just be making the Tarmogoyf play. I've also got Bolt Up. I don't expect that to mean a whole lot. I could just run in 6 here, but again, I think I need to play something that enables me to pressure the Jace. If they Jace unsummon, I can try to Lightning Bolt it. Alright, so there's the Jace. So unless they've drawn another blue card, this Bolt is going to work. And I can just do it on their turn to assure that they can't actually cast Force of Negation. Doing it now could let me untap and play Liliana of the Veil, which is big game, but I think it's really, really important to just get this Jace dead. Oh, what am I talking about? Forces if it's on my turn, so I have to Lightning Bolt now anyway. Alright, so let's just get the Blood Crypt. Say yes. Yeah, I for some reason, for a moment, thought that Force countered it on their own turn, which is not the point of the design of the card. Alright, so I think I will just go ahead and play the Liliana now. I think Wrenn and 6 may be more important though. So like if I go Wrenn and 6, I can cast Tarmogoyf. But if they force the Wrenn and 6, it's kind of a disaster. It's not a disaster if they force the Liliana. Although Liliana is going to be quite strong too. Let's just Liliana now. If they have Force plus blue card, they're probably just priced into doing this, in which case I've got a hand of 4 great cards versus nothing. Alright, they do pitch a Cryptic. Alright, so I feel pretty ahead in this spot. If they've got something like Stoneforge, I can deploy Fatal Push plus Tarmogoyf, or just Fatal Push plus Wrenn and 6. Furthermore, if their equipment of choice is a sword, I can decay it. Alright, or they just draw a sword. That's not an issue yet, though. This turn's going to be Wrenn and 6. Play a land, cast Tarmogoyf. I could play the Kroxa now that I've drawn it. It's possible that Kroxa just provides better pressure. This may break my chain of Wrenn and 6 plussing getting back value because I'll have to exile all 5 cards, but that's probably okay. Kroxa just seems like better pressure if I can play it next turn. So I have red, I have black. I need a red source here, but I have my 2 red already. So it actually looks like I'm not playing the Kroxa. But that's okay, because I have another good play in Tarmogoyf. Alright, so I'm feeling really ahead right now. I'm gonna do this now so that if they try to Field of Ruin me, I'll produce an extra mana this turn. They could obviously just target one of the untapped ones, so maybe that's not true. I mean, doing it first is also just put a creature in the yard. Drawing this Overgrown Tomb is a little awkward. I no longer have shocklands to get. Ends up not mattering. I tend to not like getting basics versus the Path to Exile Field of Ruin deck. Alright, I expect Ashiok to be good to stop them searching for swords, stop them searching with Field of Ruin, and stop them searching for Mystic Sanctuary. I like Brutality over the Inquisitions because Brutality hits things like Cryptic Command. Does not hit things like Stoneforge though. It's possible I want the Pillages just for the equipment, but I'm playing additional Kolaghan's commands for similar reasons. They are a Snapcaster deck, so I think I want the Spell Bombs. I expect them to bring in things like Rest in Peace, which would make Spellbomb worse, but ultimately the big takeaway is that it's going to make my Kroxas and Tarmogoyfs worse. I like shaving the Kroxa. It's one of my more mana intensive threats to play, and they play lots of counters, so maybe having lots of mana intensive threats is bad. I'll cut the Tarmogoyfs because they're not multi for ones. I like to shave the not multi for ones. Goyf just also not a really good threat. I mean, their removal is Path to Exile, usually. I mean, I'm bringing in more threats, that's probably fine. I think I'm okay shaving a Lightning Bolt. I want to keep a lot of the spot removal to insulate versus things that can carry a sword, but I've got lots of ways to do that already as well. I like all of these other spells. It's possible I'm overloading on spell bombs, but again, they cycle, they're never completely dead. It's possible on the draw I want to shave a Liliana of the Veil, but I think I definitely want it when I'm on the play. Let's give this a go. Yeah, I like how Bolt also has the utility of finishing off Planeswalkers. It's not the way you want to do it ideally, because I guess they'd usually have gotten value off of the Planeswalker already. But I like having outs to stuff I can't beat. This hand's not great, but I've got some I've got some stuff I can do, and I really don't like mulliganing versus a value-oriented matchup. So if they've got Stoneforge, I'm gonna wish I could have bolted this, so I should probably just shock. Kind of gives away that I've got the bolt, but I don't think that's a huge deal. Okay, they play it anyway. Yield till end step. The skull, yep. I was not bluffing, I have it. So the 2 cards I've drawn are pretty good, but obviously need some black sources to cast them. If I can draw a black source this turn, I'll feel pretty good. If I brick again, I'm behind. Alright, well that is a brick. No worthy spells to eat yet, so for now let's get at the creatures and increase our clock. Alright, Tomb's good. I suppose there is a world where I want to cast Kolaghan's Command at instant speed, so I'll shock this in pre-combat. Also nice that it's another green source for the ooze. It's not nothing. I could have Brutality here, but I really don't want them to counterbalance this ooze. That seems pretty disastrous, because then they just have infinite counters and a Batterskull to untap with into an empty board. I think I'm best served just making them act first, because I am ahead on board. Maybe end step I do something. They're just passing here. This Kolaghan's Command is going to be pretty valuable for trying to pop the Batterskull. So maybe I just want to cast Fatal Push targeting their Shark. It doesn't do a whole lot for me. And remember, I did sideboard out the I did sideboard out the Tarmogoyfs, so keeping card types in the graveyard isn't overly meaningful. Let's just keep their yard small. They may be playing things like Logic Knot. Although if they board and Rest in Peace, things like that get worse, so maybe not. Again, don't want to get counterbounced. Don't want to have the turn to end on an empty board and then have a full hand. It's possible I just want to cycle the Spell Bomb to draw a card, and I think I will. I really want to start hitting my land drops, and I've already got 2 other modes of Graveyard Hate, so getting rid of 1 of my 3 doesn't seem like a huge loss. It's possible they're waiting to deploy the Batterskull when they can counter something like a Kolaghan's Command. Alright, well, Renin 6 does not actually get any lands back. This ooze has been doing pretty well so far. Is this something like a click? Bounce, draw. It's probably fine. They may have a mana leak for it on the way back down. It's kind of a disaster if they mana leak it, because the situation that I'm afraid of becomes realized, and that it's an empty board and they're untapping with the full hand. But if I don't do anything, the same situation applies. Alright, so they'll be drawing a Cryptic Command. To note, I think I should start playing faster. It's not unlikely this game's gonna go to almost time. Not this game, but this match, I mean. Eating this land's probably pretty close to free. Again, we know of Cryptic Command in hand, and also this Batter Skull. Now if I don't play anything, I'm just losing cards. If I go Brutality, they're likely to counterbounce. It's unfortunate, but I think that's my line right now. They're pretty much priced into countering this at least. They could counter draw and leave me with the Ooze in play, but I think they want to bounce the Ooze. They're probably trying to refrain from pathing because that gives me the lands that I've been missing. If they've got things like multiple cryptics, then they might just let this resolve, but the information would be appreciated. Maybe it's like bounce Mystic Sanctuary, counter this. But Mystic Sanctuary, I suppose, is weak with an Ooze in play. I would assume counter bounce, yeah. Yep. So now I'm going to have to discard anyway. Unfortunate. Really just needed to hit some land drops. I think my worst card here, it's probably second Ashiok, but Ashiok can be really potent versus them. It's probably just Decay. It's my only clean answer to things like Baby Teferi, but there aren't a whole lot of those. So I guess now they can Batter Skull and have some form of counter magic available. Like, I can Decay the Germ, but that seems like a zero-sum game. There's the land. So I guess I'm Blood Braiding now. I need to start catching up. Alternatively, I can cast Renin 6, get back an Overgrown Tomb, and try to cast a creature, but that seems like I'm not really winning. I may need to just go for the Kolaghan's Command and hope they don't have an answer to it somehow. In which case I can upkeep it, but then another thing they could have is Cryptic Command. It doesn't feel great, but I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to go for this now. And it's going to be a pretty big blowout if they've got a counter, but I don't have much of a choice. Yeah, that works too. I mean, they're using their mana again, so that's fine with me. I'm still getting a card from them. So that's another Mystic Sanctuary. Yeah, we really just needed these lands much earlier. So they'll have to Mystic Sanctuary now because they don't know if I have a land or not. But them getting back Cryptic is pretty bad news. Really doubt I'm double blocking a Germ. So they've drawn Cryptic again. Casting a Shark Typhoon. Alright, I don't think I can beat that. I'll scoop it up. Because again, I know about Cryptic, and Cryptic makes a 4/4 and a bunch of other stuff. Tilting. Yeah, I just needed the lands. I feel like our hand was very, very good. I don't think I can ship it ever. Now that I've seen Shark Typhoon, it's possible Liliana with Veil gets weaker. Still think I want it. Maybe cut a Huntmaster. All these other cards seem too good. Maybe I cut a Bolt for the Huntmaster. I think I like the Bolts more than I like Fatal Push. Maybe I cut one of each. Is there anything that Fatal Push doesn't touch out of their deck? Yeah, honestly, I don't think so. Push can kill the big sharks. So I guess poor Bolt can't. So maybe keeping one push is right. Let's give this a go. Sounds excellent. Let's keep it. It's got some staying power, but nothing usable early. If they've got Stoneforge as their earlier play, I can Lightning Bolt it, which is nice. So I guess I'll just hope that's what they've got. Ooh, Renin 6 was great. Obviously, I can't get any value out of it right now. They could have Spell Snare, but I'm not really gonna play around it. Works. Alright, that's big game. Stoneforge. Rest in peace. Alright. Again, it makes me pretty happy that I boarded out my Tarmogoyfs and my Kroxa. The only thing this is really going to impact is the Renin 6, which is not nothing. The ultimate also becomes pretty null. They didn't have force last turn, but they might not have just might not have forced the Renin 6 because they knew they had Rest in Peace and Renin 6 wouldn't do a whole lot in the face of it. They pitch a Cryptic. Alright, let's go up. I mean, this Renin 6 is still going to get to do stuff like ping off Snapcasters, so it doesn't do nothing. Let me get rid of these graveyard piles since there are no graveyards. Alright, that's something I can Lightning Bolt. I'm like kind of scared of a Batterskull, but not by a lot. Like if they get I'd be much happier here if they just got a sword, because I'm confident in my ability to get rid of things that can carry swords. Ooh, Bob was excellent. Alright, so let's get rid of this thing now. Doubt they forced that, yeah. Play Dark Confidant. Plus. Go. So there's still a turn off of Batterskulling. But they did pitch a Cryptic Command to their Force of Negation, so it has me nervous as to the quality of the rest of the hand. But my hand's pretty good. Yes, let's use this ability. Croaks is gone and doesn't matter. Ooze is not really going to matter from here on out. Although I guess I should get the Forest, so it's easier to activate Raging Ravine if that comes up. So I could Cascade into another Renin 6. So I think I should ping first because I probably want to cast it if I hit it. Maybe not. We'll just see what happens and then decide afterwards. Ooh, Kolagon's command. I guess you and you. There goes another Rest in Peace. To note, the opponent also missed a land drop, so their hand's got to be pretty tight. Well, it definitely includes the Batterskull. You know, like Snapcaster and block here. That I'm fine with. Oh, make a 1/1, sure. Oh, make a 0/0. Okay. I sometimes forget that it's not blue X, it's blue and 1 and X. I'm feeling pretty in command here. Field of Ruin's annoying. That can deal with the Raging Ravine. But yeah, feeling ahead. Not by a significant margin though. That's fine. If they brainstorm, I get to kill it. Fate Seal himself. Interesting. Alright, well between my 2 Blood Braids I can kill that pretty easily. Oof, even drew a Huntmaster. They put a card on top, so I'm assuming Batterskull is happening next turn. I think I should just be jamming a Bloodbraid because that's what enables me to kill the Jace this turn. That doesn't do anything. It doesn't even draw a card because of the Rest in Peace. So yeah, that was the worst hit. I guess Fatal Push would have technically been worse. Here comes Batterskull. Yep. That means I can use the Duress mode and cast Huntmaster this turn. Although it's not certain that they even have a spell, so maybe I want to save the Brutality for a future turn. I can attack with the Raging Ravine. It would trade. But that means I'm not getting Huntmaster down under the counters. I should probably just be playing the Huntmaster. And if they block, I can... If they attack, I can arrange some kind of block. This can't get forced either. Don't think I'm using Duress mode yet. And I am aware that I can be attacking with Blood Braids and then using the Run and 6 to ping it off. Ping off the Germ, I mean, to do the 4th damage. Possible I should have. I like keeping the board big though. In all honesty, I think it was a mistake not to just go for the kill on the Germ. If they attack here, I'm not sure how I'll block. I may just throw a wolf in front. That makes me nervous. This means they get another sword and they can play another sword. Yep. They may just put it into play now. They don't though. Interesting. Alright, well that was a pretty bad draw. I mean, it's a land, so I could Brutality now to kill the Stoneforge, and then activate Ravine and attack all. So if I attack all, that's 4, 7, 10, 13. Sorry, 4, 7, 10, 12, 14. So they will be forced to block with the Germ, which means I can then Run and 6 ping it off. They've got Path to Exile, it'll be unfortunate. And they didn't play their sword, but that might have been a consideration of... They don't want the Huntmaster to flip. So this is 4, 7, 10, 11, 12. They do have to chump if I don't attack with the Huntmaster anyway. If they block the wolf, though, I don't actually get to ping it off, so maybe it's just these. This is 10, which is not lethal. But I kind of have to do it this way. Yeah, because if they just like block the wolf, gain 4, the attack isn't actually good and I lose a wolf. They probably are just going to return the Batter Skull here at this point. They could like... Though I guess the thing that would really hurt me is if they've got Vendilion Click or Brazen Borrower, and they can just like flash it in and then equip a Batter Skull. So if I activate Raging Ravine, that's hitting for 5. Let's say they block that, they're at a virtual 12, but their thing dies. They would take 5, 7, puts them to 5, Renin 6 puts them to 4. Doesn't seem great. I think I should just Peatland first and sacrifice it. See what it hits. Ooh, Decay hits the Germ. And this is lethal with the Renin 6 ping. See, Renin 6 wasn't useless. Nice. So far, so good. We are Venom. I like that name. Don't like this hand. I think I will keep it on the back of Dark Confidant being really good in some matchups, and the same with Ooze. I'm not excited about it, but it's got all of my colors and 2 powerful plays, matchup dependent. If this is something like Prowess, then I'm very unlikely to win. But if it's Blue-White again, the stand could be good. Thoughtseize could clear the way, but I think I'm just going to go for the high upside play of Jam Dark Confidant. I doubt they want to Path to Exile this. To note, it is pretty awkward that I've got 2 of my basics. I don't know that this is Blue-White yet. I guess it probably is now. My guess is that it's blue-white and that this Bob is going to be fantastic. Alright, I revealed the Maelstrom Pulse. Don't want a Snapcaster jumping in front of this, so let's just do this first. Means I won't be able to hold up a Scavenging as activation, but I think keeping the Bob is probably more important. Wow, it's a lot of stuff. Cryptic Command's the most annoying against me. I think I'm just gonna take the multi for one. But yeah, I expect this Bob to go a long way. Right, and I'm okay jamming spells into their counters because I'm drawing 2 cards a turn, and I'm going to win that in the long run. I guess ways that I lose this game are that if they draw something like Teferi Time Raveler, they bounce my Dark Confidant, then I don't have an adequate means of pressuring it. Alright, so this is what they know about right here in this window. Dark Confidant going to town. There's a reason this is my favorite card in the game. Like, when it's bad, granted, but when it's good, it's all you need. Watch me say that and then lose this game. Alright, I'll just throw out a Glyph into another counter. Leaving a mountain because I've got a bolt. Again, them countering stuff is fine. Maybe a small misstep is that I should have played my land first, because then they have to exile another card to make their logic knots worse. So now I just need to dodge things like Supreme Verdict. Even then, I've got a threat in Raging Ravine. They do have Field of Ruin though, so maybe that's not an adequate plan. But they don't play it. Okay. Dark Confidant gets another trigger. So this could be a turn for Activate Raging Ravine, and I think it probably is. Their Snapcasters don't really do anything meaningful if I can keep up the activation on the Ooze, though. I mean, they could have played Field and kept up Force. So I don't know why they didn't just play the Field. That's got to mean that they have something. I mean, they could have played the Field if they had Snapcaster, too. So I'm not entirely sure what's up. I think I want to continue making their Snapcasters worse, which would involve not attacking with Ravine this turn. So let's just jam and see what happens. I can even eat something before damage. Not gonna eat the second thing, because I want to keep an activation up at all times. And then I guess in case I want to Fatal Push with Revolt, I should play Fetch Land. I could have played the Bloodstained Mire before, combat, so that way I could eat something now, but I don't think I want to go to 10. Doesn't actually change the clock with the lightning bolt in play. I would need a second creature in play anyway. Actually, no, I guess I would have changed it, right? Because they'd been at 6 and I have an attack for 6. So potentially a mistake. Alright, there's the Field of Ruin. I could eat stuff, but there's so much in there. I'll just leave up. And I can't really put down all the green anyway at any given point, so eating one thing isn't super important. I am going after that Cryptic first, though. This is going to have to be something like tap draw. Oh, alright. Alright, well, I've got a Fatal Push and I intend on using it. I'll do it now before they draw a card. Cool. So yeah, like I said in the beginning of the video, I expect blue-white to be a pretty good matchup. We've won every game where we've hit land drops. I'm going to sideboard pretty similarly. I think this opponent will not rest in peace based on the fact that we saw Logic Knot, unless they think that it's worth it to sideboard out the Logic Knots. But yeah, I'm going to sideboard fairly similarly, if not identically. What was the other takeout last time? It was a bolt or a push. Take out a push. I still think fourth lightning bolt is on the weak side. Same with second push. Maybe this Liliana is just better than this lightning bolt. I mean, against lots of counterspells, because this opponent is probably playing more counterspells than the last opponent. Inquisition may become better. I think this opponent is just straight blue-white control as opposed to Stoneblade. I mean, if it's just blue-white control and not Stoneblade, Liliana definitely gets stronger. Maybe that's wrong, because Liliana can Edict Stoneblade stuff, whereas the Edict here doesn't mean as much. Opponent having access to Shark Typhoon makes me more nervous about having the Lilianas, but I do think they're just better than more spot removal versus a control deck. This hand's excellent. Not super excited about the lightning bolt, but the rest of the hand's pretty fantastic. I guess it's better than not having a lightning bolt. The hand's very good. I think I'm just going to take Jace the Mind Sculptor. It's the card that's going to be the hardest for me to beat if they use it correctly. Teferi sucks for me, but it's not a big deal. I can probably just bolt it and accept the tempo loss versus the Scavenging Ooze. But I'm going to be playing Wrenn and 6 on turn 2. So it's not even that big of a tempo loss. Because there's not going to be anything they can bounce. At least not immediately. So I'm just gonna hope they didn't draw a Mana Leak, Logic Knot, or Spell Snare this turn. I'm in a pretty good spot, assuming this resolves. If it doesn't resolve, the fight continues. Cool. Not out of the woods yet, but so far pretty ideal. That's more than okay with me. Snapcaster is one of their better cards against me, so the fact that they're just empty flashing one in makes me pretty happy. Maybe they are just that worried about their N6. So I cannot combo Lightning Bolt and their N6 activation to kill the Teferi, so I should probably just use the Teferi to kill the Snapcaster Mage. I could Maelstrom Pulse the Teferi now to make sure I stay tempo positive. But I think Maelstrom Pulse is going to be needed later down the line to kill something like 5 mana Teferi. It's pretty close what I should do here. I think I should just go ahead and pulse it. Because it is just another card on board. And like if they force of negation this, I'm okay with that. So like long run this is a pseudo 2-for-1 because again they were going to be getting a card off of that Teferi and I needed to kill the Teferi somehow anyway, probably with a Lightning Bolt. I can Brutality first to clear the way for the Scavenging Ooze, because they could have like Cryptic or something here, but I think I should hold it for something more impactful. Like if this resolves, fantastic, and if it doesn't, I can Kolaghan's Command it back at some point. Like absolute worst case, they have Cryptic here, and I'm not even super upset about it. Like I'm not happy about it for sure. But I would still have Ren and 6 in play and a handful of powerful spells. This is looking more and more like the non-Stoneblade version. So I'll eat the Snapcaster, increase my clock, and I'll fetch Painlessly now too. This gives them a window to like Path to Exile this or something, but the only reason this would bite me is if they've got like Opt Snap Opt, and I'm leaving down the window for them to get the extra card. But the odds they've got that are super low. They probably would have main phased it in order to try to find something, so I think just going for it now is pretty acceptable. Gonna need another threat at some point. I can't rely on this one ooze forever, especially since it's gonna take a while to get there. They are playing Logic Knot, so I'm gonna munch their graveyard as soon as I get the chance. They bought them. Cool. Same reasoning as before. I'll just go ahead and tap out of green here. Spellbomb's not a bad one. I guess I should play Verdant now, because that can fetch Green Source if that comes up. They know of a Bloodstained Mire, but not a huge deal. I've got a 7-card hand. Knowing about one land probably isn't that big of a deal. Purge the running 6. Yep. I think what I don't want to see is it's a Fairy Time Raveler. I'll just use the Spellbomb now because I need to find a backup threat. Golgon Scan's a fine one too, I guess. So I got 2 swamps left. Not great. Here's the mire they know about. Kind of flooding. Flood is a reason I could lose. I've got 7 points of burn though. This puts them in a 9. Actually got 9 points of burn with the brutality. I think I should hold it for now. Kinda hard to lose if I can get one more hit in. It's like a Factor Fiction. Bounce draw. Sure. I'll just discard a land, not a big deal. They can Mystic Sanctuary, get it back. I mean, I do have just instant speed lethal right now. Oh, sorry, I'm 1 short. I guess I'll let this happen then. And then I can just lead with Brutality next turn to clear the Cryptic. We'll put it right back on top with the Flooded Strand that they've played. But, eh. At least this uses one of their draw steps to do it. Yep. This means they have to fetch now. They don't? Deal. I guess maybe Cryptic just isn't what they're looking for anymore. Annoying. Again, continuing to just make Logic Knots and the like worse. Oh, so they are Stoneblade. So it's not a game I was expecting to lose, but I was pretty threat light for a while. Did they fail to find? They must just have their equipment. Wow. Another land, not exactly what I'm looking for. Liliana is what I'm looking for. Let's just start there. I think the Liliana should just be going up here. Get their hand empty of probably equipment. Yeah. Get rid of the thing that can carry the equipment as a priority. If this gets countered, I'll just use Kolaghan's commands. Be back in about 10 seconds. And go. Yep, and another sword in hand, so I guess they just have all of their equipment. Pretty unlucky, but yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. There's a threat. Sure. Probably should have oozed first, so they would have to use their flooded strands for the other Mystic Sanctuary, although we don't know that they're playing 3. So let's just get this ooze back down. Alright, I guess they're not playing 3. Cool. So we're 2-0 versus blue-white control. / Stoneblade. Yeah, like I said, I expect that matchup to be pretty good for us as the Jund deck. We've got just as many multi-for-1s as they do. Their Planeswalkers are a bit better, but we've got adequate pressure to get them down. Going first. Yeah, Sand's not great, but it's a keep. Against something like the Mirror or Stoneblade again, the Sand's going to be fantastic. Against a combo deck, this could be a lot weaker. Or definitely is weaker against a combo deck. Although I'd be happy to see a Mirror with this hand. Be happy to see a lot of things with this hand. In all honesty, this is one of the better hands that I could have versus Tron. Tarmogoyf tends to be the best threat because it hits the hardest the fastest. Bloodbraid's fine. Liliana of the Veil is good for pressuring the hand. If it's E-Tron, this hand's also just fine. It is. Mm-hmm. So I tend to like to keep the Lilianas to interact with the Reality Smashers profitably. But that means I don't have an attack here. I think I want to just Liliana and Edict. It'll feel pretty bad if they hit something good. But this lets me get an attack in. A map. Yuck. But yeah, this hand is set up pretty well to fight E-Tron. If they thought not here, they probably just take a Bloodbraid. This is a good sign for me, though. They reveal Tower. They may just end up having the Tron. Land? Alright. So I'll do this first, so I Inquisition them without them having information that discard is following up. Don't know that it's going to hit anything. Ooh, it hit something. Cool. Tome is really, really annoying, but it's on the slower side. They are going to get to cast Reality Smasher next turn. Guess I'll take a Ballista. So if I play Tarmogoyf and don't attack, I get to keep this Liliana around. Which seems good. It's a good draw. I get to kill it pretty much immediately, though. Bridge makes some sense. Myra's a good draw. I almost just don't want to plus this Liliana. Reality Smasher can no longer attack it. My entire hand is good. Also makes their bridges better. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play this Bloodbraid here. Use the Bloodbraid to attack the Karn. And use the Glyphs to go at them. Oof, Kolaghan's command is nice. You can return an ooze, so that doesn't really do a whole lot. I guess I'll just say 2 to you discard. There goes the Smasher. Glyphs are big now. So they'll get to play Bridge. And if they hit a land, also a Tome. Bloodbraids will get to it. The Bloodbraids will get to attack next turn if they can't empty an additional card from their hand. Alright, well they can. Alright, Bridge. So their hand is 2 tomes. 1 tome. And I can no longer attack. I mean, I've got Decay, I've got Pulses. Alright, I guess we can get rid of the other tome. Alright, and then I guess I will see if this Bloodbraid can hit another answer to the bridge. It does not. I'll cast it though. Alright, here's to hoping I don't just lose to the Ensnaring Bridge. As soon as I can find an answer to it, I feel pretty good. Tron. That'll do it. Colonel. None of them fall on the floor. So Eldrazi Tron. Plague Engineer going to be good. Pillage is going to be good. And then I guess Huntmaster is going to be adequate. I think on the draw I should be shaving an Inquisition. And then Bolt also doesn't do a whole lot. Neither does Fatal Push really, but Fatal Push gets Thought-Knots here. Red and 6 doesn't really do a whole lot, does it? Dark Confidant can also be pretty bad, especially in the face of Walking Ballista. I'm worried about making my curve really high though. I am on the draw where it's more likely I hit my land drops. All these cards just seem too good to cut. Maybe it's just Ooze. Ooze is the slowest creature that requires the most mana. I'm already bringing in other threats, so cutting threats is probably fine. Let's give this a try. I think I'm gonna ditch a Plague Engineer, which is weird because it's like the one sideboard card that I have, but I can't ship Thoughtseize. Liliana is just good versus most of their threats, and Bloodbraid's a powerful top end in a hand where we're almost guaranteed to get to our 4th land drop. Hopefully I'm not forced to take a Chalice with this. Although if they have it, I might just let them keep it. I'll take a Reality Smasher. They have Mine, Tower, and Mine in play. They have Power Plant too. Alright, so they do have the Natural Tron. There's a Power Plant. They got the Natty Goif. Oh, great. What can you do with a lot of mana? That's something. This does not feel good. I guess next turn if I draw another lightning bolt, I can use 2 bolts to kill a Nugan. Okay, you got me.
Looks like he's falling before.
Yeah. Now that I'm on the play again, entirely possible I want this other Inquisition back. I mean, it is a mid-range matchup though, and drawing them late really blows. I think I'm just gonna try resubmitting. Don't think I can keep this. I think I have to at this point. I guess I'll get Stomping Ground with this. Not great. Tome, yep. Jeez. Alright, so let's ditch some extra lands. I guess I'm more likely to want to get Forest. Or not, because I do have Crocus in the deck. I really don't want to be getting other Swamp. It's kind of close. I'm not ditching the Ravine, because the Ravine could actually turn into a creature at some point. It's been averted. Then I guess we hope to dodge Temple plus Smasher. Maybe ditching a Thought Knot means they've got another one. But I mean, we've got a Liliana in play, so Thought Knot's not super effective. Pass? Alright. Ooh, Kolaghan's Command's nice. So they don't get to, their tome doesn't actually go off yet. I think worst case scenario for me is they've got something like Reality Smasher. I mean, it's kind of hard to not play a Huntmaster here. Which I guess means I am pitching this Raging Ravine. And even been a Reality Smasher, jeez. Alright, so I cut the Scavenging Oozes, so having lots of green doesn't really matter. I think I should just save the life, get a mountain. Alright, well I can Kolaghan's Command it back. If they've got Reality Smasher, I'm probably forced to block with the Wolf, so I can have Edict around to finish it off. That is the line. Alright, so Liliana will take 3, go to 2, and then the Edict can finish it off. Ooh, Pillage is really good here. I know they're probably short on land, so this can kill a temple. So I guess I'm just gonna hope this is good. Yikes. So I guess my best draw is something like Lightning Bolt right now, just a 1 mana way to interact. So I can combo it with a Cake Command this turn.
Mm-hmm.
2 damage on the Karn doesn't actually kill it. They get Sky Sovereign. Wow. Karn does complicate things. So like getting back Huntmaster is kind of slow at this point. Getting rid of Tome doesn't really matter a whole lot. It's just a random card, so Karn getting a good card is probably worse for me. I definitely don't want them to minus again right now. I think I have to get back Huntmaster and shock the Karn. Does not feel good. They topped. Uh-oh. Yeah. Gonna need something really, really strong.
Yeah, you're using other flags.
That is not something really strong. Gonna need my line's gonna have to start with a Bloodbraid Elf. Bridge? There's another Karn. Ballista. Oh, okay. Again, it's gonna have to start with the Bloodbraid. That'll do it. Dark Confidant doesn't do anything in front of that Ballista, especially. Yeah, sounds great. Kind of painful, but whatever. Speaking of having a painful hand, here's Burn. So I'm pretty sure I should still just lead with the Thoughtseize. They've got Eidolon, it's a pretty big deal. They do not have Eidolon, but they have a bunch of spells. I think I'm just gonna take the Lava Spike. I don't want them to double spell next turn. Especially since my Bolt gets to kill their Swift Spear at some point. Gonna need something like a Torment Wave pretty quickly so I can start pressuring. Without it, I don't think I can win. That was a good draw. Alright, so let's I suppose start with the Inquisition. Getting a basic swamp. Just taking the card that helps them win the race. Not so worried about double spelling now, because they would be able to do it anyway with 3 lands. Alright, looks like I need a Goyf. Even then, that puts me to 3. Which means I'm dead to just about anything. Gotta have to play the Wood of Foothill, so if they try to attack me with a creature, I can Kolaghan's Command it. Alternatively, I can just play the Ren in 6. But I mean, the plussing doesn't really do a whole lot. Yeah, I'll just pass. Dead. I know this puts me to 1, but I can't win from 1. Alright. Brutality, great. Huntmaster, fine. Obvious takeouts are Dark Confidant and Thoughtseize. Would like to take out Ren in 6. Honestly, Pillage might be better than Ren and 6. On the play, Thoughtseize might be actually fine. Like, on average, it gains you 1 life and gets you info. And I think I want to Plague Engineer before I want to Ren and 6. Although Ren and 6 will help me reliably hit these 4 mana plays, so maybe that's wrong. I'll keep the 1 in and I'll take out the Plague Engineer. I'd really like to be able to get to my powerful 4s. Yeah. I don't have the early interaction for 1 mana plays. I have the decay, so I guess that's good. I'll just be taking a hit of whatever they do first. Alright, well, Rift Bolt makes me a little happier. If they've got the Chandra's Incinerator, I'm happy that I've got Liliana to be able to deal with it. Really want to make sure I hit my land drops so I can Liliana next turn to hit the Incinerator. So this Ren and 6 that I kept in already paying dividends. So I do hope they just go Incinerator now, because that's a burn spell that doesn't touch me, given that I've got the Liliana. Alright, so at this point I'm not really scared of an Incinerator, so I should probably just use the Liliana to Edict to Swift Spear. Wow, that was really, really good. Now I'm probably just doing that. Remote it. You. Discard a land because I can get it back immediately. The second card is unclear. Probably just the Golagon's Command. It's my most expensive play. My oozes are probably very valuable. And then Decay is the cheapest mode I have of interacting. Path to Exile doesn't go to my face, so I'm okay with that. I'll take the best burn spell. Feel okay about this game. Jeez. Alright. Gonna be pretty hard to convince me to sacrifice another fetch land. I think I should just be getting Liliana down. Make sure the Scavenging Ooze is going to stick around. And I'll discard the Verdant. Go. So as it sits, I've got one thing to eat with a Scavenging Ooze. I can always plus the Liliana to discard my second ooze and eat that too. Kind of feels like they just drew an instant though. Not really a good spot to be in. I mean, Renin 6 looping a Collective Brutality is a way to do it. Yikes. I think I'm just going to keep the land in hand now, so I can loop the Brutality if I need to. Or loop it immediately, is what I mean. I guess Inquisition doesn't do a whole lot. Here, let's just bin an ooze so I have another thing to eat. And then I guess on their upkeep, I can eat something with the ooze. Alright, so I'm going to need to dodge something this turn. If I can dodge this turn, I've got a shot. Darn, looks like they hit it. Nothing I can do about that. They just drew it at every single corner. Unfortunate. Not sure what Forest Pass means. I guess it could be red-green. Doubt it's something like Infect. Titan makes sense. Alright, well that's something my Lightning Bolt can kill. I should probably just run and 6 it though, that seems much better. Yep. Alright, so they get the Titan next turn, assuming they've got it. I mean, 2 bolts is a way to kill a Titan. It's not a good way to do it, because they're going to get 2 zombies out of the deal, too. I think I have the Liliana Edict here and just hope they don't have it. Like, I could plus, but it doesn't really achieve much. I mean, I guess a plus here is kind of just fine. Because at least there are fewer things they could have, if not a Titan. I can always bolt this next turn. But I think I need the bolts to kill the Titan. Alright, so I guess we just hope they don't have it. And if they have it, then so be it. I guess they don't have it. Okay. I guess this means they're willing to discard their last card. I mean, I'll make them do it. I guess I should have discarded the forest as I get it back immediately, so that was a mistake. I mean, I can get the verdant back anyway, I guess. Tarmogoyf. Ooze is fine too. So gonna need to dodge it this turn too. Next turn I can draw step K command. Assuming they play whatever they've got now. Whatever they're about to have. And I've got 7 points of burn. 5 attacking damage, that's 12. They drew a pact. Alright. I mean, I get to kill the zombies. And then have the edict, but I guess they have explosives to take care of that. Oh, they're just giving it haste. So yeah, I think we could win pretty easily if we dodge a way to get a Titan this turn, but they hit it. So I guess they had a lot of ways to do it too. A Titan itself, Summer's Pact does it, Teleria West does it. Yep. Where's it going? Liliana. Alright, they're smart. Boo. So I have to kill this Titan. I mean, I can bolt it, draw step, K command to make sure they don't have anything else going. The hard way. Pact of negation? Really? I mean, I guess you counter it. I mean, this Croxa is beefy. Can't escape it because of the forest, unfortunately. Yeah. And I can escape it next turn. What happens if I attack with Ravine? It's 4, 7, 9. Yeah, Croxa's looking like one of my better ways to come back. Keep up max green for the U's. So this is an attack for 7. Puts you to 7. I think I need to do an extra damage. Need this Azusa too. Alright, so they have a Pact of Negation to pay for on their upkeep, but they've got plenty of mana to do it. They don't have enough mana to like draw a Titan and give it haste, but Titan means they get more zombies, so it's gonna be bad for me no matter what. Wait, do they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, they do have enough, right? They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 4. Tap this, funnel it. Yeah, they can Titan plus haste if they draw one. Pretty insane. They have so few bad draws here. Like, even lands just give them zombies. I mean, Kroxa's gonna pressure their hand. Alright, so they get a zombie. They're guaranteed to get a zombie next turn too. Or I guess they're not, because Kroxa's gonna make them discard it and make them lose 3. So they don't actually have an attack here, because they die if they attack. I know their last card's a land. Kroxa's gonna make them lose 3. Their explosives don't kill any of my creatures. Oh, I'm being a little on the stupid side. They do just to get to block. Yep, so they're attacking Renin 6, which makes sense. Renin 6 will die. Don't think it matters. I guess they could have Uro. Bolt does it, right? I can activate the Ravine. Attack all. Actually, I just escape Kroxa and bolt them that way too. So red, black, Kroxa. Bolt you. Not a game I was expecting to win. We really needed to dodge the Titan that one specific turn, and they hit it, but it ended up not mattering. So Unsure of Brutality, it gets all of the pacts. And it kills the smaller creatures, like it kills the Azusas and the tribe scouts. But on the draw against Azusa and tribe scout, 2 mana seems too slow. Definitely want these 6 though. These 6 are great. I think I'm gonna shave a Renin 6. Honestly, thinking of shaving this Kroxa. Ooze does seem to be on the slow side. Like, it was good that last game, but that last game went many turns. Fatal Push doesn't seem great. I think I'll cut 1. Still gonna be fine for killing Tribe Scouts or Azusa if I've got Revolt. Alright, so maybe since there just isn't adequate room for brutalities, they're just not going to be good enough. And I don't think I want to overload on this effect either, because I do have Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes. Maybe like on the draw I'll shave a Liliana, maybe even 2. Maybe I shave a Bloodbraid and leave in 3rd Liliana. Like, Bloodbraid's nice, but I don't often have the luxury of being able to just tap out. I think I could give this a go. I think it may be possible, even likely, that this other Liliana is just good enough. The plus can be pretty potent. How about this? I'll give this a go. This takes away some of my ability to turn the corner. But I did not cut any of my Tarmogoyfs or my Kroxa, so I've got lots of threats. I did cut the Oozes too. So maybe I'm too threat light right now. Yeah, I don't think I can ship this. Well, I like that turn 1 from them. Swamp's a good draw. Now I know I'll be able to play Ashiok. Okay. It'll push not great. Although if they do have the Azusa, I'm pretty happy that I've got it. I think I should just hold up Fatal Push instead of playing the Bob, because it's such a disaster if they've got Azusa into a bounce land. And then the turn right after that, I can either Kolaghan's Command or Ashiok. Second Amulet is going to make this difficult. Alright, so they're gonna be able to Titan here. So like bounce a Telerio West or something. I think this is just a turn 3 kill. Like if they're playing the Boros Garrison Sunholm combo, they give it +2/+0, +2/+0, and then double strike it. They've already played all of their lands, so I don't think responding does anything. Return to bounce land too. Alright, you got the Titan. Another Dryad. This does let them play another land. I'm not entirely sure how this stacks. Killing this now might prevent them from playing. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but I'll just go ahead and kill this now. I'm not sure if this resets there. You may play an additional land because it's a different copy. They may be able to. I guess I'll learn today. Oh, I guess it does shut it off. Cool. So they're right back up to effectively infinite mana. I can Ashiok to make sure that they can't Titan and do something else ridiculously powerful. But they're going to be able to attack the Ashiok. And then like Liliana Edicting doesn't actually achieve much. I mean, just playing this Ashiok though might be enough to buy me some time. Like bounce land, the bounce land I know they have means they get to cast Titan anyway. because I've got 2 amulets in play. Like if I K command, you discard, kill an amulet. Their other card would have to be exactly Titan, because they're keeping bounce land. Yeah, I think I'll just go for the Kolaghan's command and have you discard a card. If they Titan me, at least it's not gonna have haste this turn. I guess I would have haste. They wouldn't be able to kill me immediately. There goes castle. Alright, pass. Yeah, I mean, I think the real options there were K command, Liliana, or Ashiok. Like if I Liliana there and minus targeting them, I still just die to the Titan. If I go Ashiok, they get to attack the Ashiok, and if they have the Titan, then I can't actually kill the Titan either. But yeah, this prevents them from... I'm pretty sure it prevents them from having enough mana to bounce Teleria West and transmute it and cast the Titan. So there's their second land already. This puts them up to 6 mana. So if they've got Titan, they get to cast it, right? Okay, so yeah, it didn't actually prevent that. Yikes. So yeah, I guess Ashiok would have been better there then, because that stops the pact. Now they get to give this Titan haste. Yeah, so Ashiok would have been the better play. That was a mistake. I'm just dead now. Darn. All right. Crap. Alright, I'm on the play now. I think I actually do want this Fatal Push over this Bolt. Fatal Push kills the Dryad too, on top of Azusa. Maybe Brutality is good enough while I'm on the play, because I can actually kill the 1-drop on the play. And it does take the pacts. I don't like cutting so many of my threats. Pretty sure that's wrong. I just don't know what else to cut, honestly. Maybe it's just another bolt. How's that? This could be good. Let's run it. So yeah, if I Ashiok that last game, they still get to cast the Titan. Actually, they don't necessarily have it though, because if their Titan is the pact like it was, then they don't actually have the Titan. That was good. Unclear what I want to do now. I should probably just run in 6, start working towards ultimate if it comes up. Like, I would love to get this Bob down, but I want to Bob to find lands, and run in 6 definitely finds the lands. Kolaghan's command could be a pretty big game next turn. This ensures that's a possibility. Like my ideal play from the opponent would be like play a amulet, like go explore. Alright, that's what I was hoping would happen. I should probably upkeep it, so if they have Baloth, I don't just die to it. But they could also have Veil of Summer. The odds they have Veil of Summer are probably higher. They're not going to pact for a Baloth because then they die to their own trigger. So I'll go Swamp. Kolagon's Command. Discard a card. Destroy an artifact. And then I just hope they don't have Baloth. And if they've got it, then I'm way behind. No slow roll, please. Cool. So next turn I'm likely to double spell. Probably Bob and Brutality. But I would really like to draw as an Ashiok. So I think this is a double spell turn. And again, in case their Titan is a pact, I think I want a Brutality this turn. I know that their hand has a forest in it. I could escalate it for kind of free because I can just get the land back with the Ren and 6. They have the Titan again, but it's an actual Titan this time. Crap. Yeah, it's gotta be Bob. I need to find an answer to the Titan. Should they not have played land first so they could get Field of the Dead online? Oh, I see. Well, I guess that doesn't actually change anything. Yep. Titan has haste. Now they get Field of the Dead online. $800. Oh, they're just going to kill me. Yeah, that's 12, and then they've got the trample. So yeah, I am just dead. Yikes. Alright, so that league started out well. Then did not finish very well. So, I mean, against the two blue-white decks, it wasn't particularly close, which was to be expected. Then round 4, we played against Burn, and they just kind of drew it all. And then against Titan, they kind of the same thing. We got a game off of them at least, but they just kind of had the nuts at every corner, and I didn't have the ace sideboard card. It's possible I should have mulliganed more aggressively, but that last game that I kept, it was pretty decent, right? It was 2 lands, Bob, Goyf, powerful planeswalkers. Yeah, I don't think I can ship that, especially on the play. Yeah, I think I just need to get a little luckier in terms of actually drawing a sideboard card. Bummer. All right, what was round 3? What happened round 3? I honestly don't remember right now. Yeah, I know we lost. If I don't remember the next 5 seconds, I don't think I'm going to remember. What did I board in? Spell bombs? Something with a rest in peace. No, that was blue-white. Yeah, I don't remember what was round 3 right now. But what I do remember is that they were fine games and we just didn't get there. Alright, so since I can't remember, I'll just do an overall recap. I really liked the extra Kolagons command. I think I'm going to continue with that. If the meta stays similar. Oh, it was E-Tron. It was E-Tron. E-Tron just had the nuts. We beat him 1 game, and then they just had the nuts back to back. Like, they had natural Tron into... we had thought seized them and didn't see a threat, and then the turn they assembled natural Tron, they just had an Ugin the Ineffable, and then after that, they just outgrinded us. So yeah, okay. So yeah, the Kolagons commands were very good. The Ren and 6s were fine. They weren't fantastic. I was happy with the extra Liliana. The Bobs were fantastic against blue-white. They did a lot of work there. The Oozes were good. The Glyphs were fine. Bloodbraids were fine. So yeah, like I feel like the deck overall, like every card that's in the deck is kind of just good on its own. I guess maybe Kroxa is kind of waning in popularity. Maybe Kroxa's not good enough. Kroxa does a lot for the opponent depending on what deck they're playing. Like if you're playing against Sultai, it's pretty bad because they can just like ditch Thorough and play it immediately. And like against the last opponent, discarding a card doesn't mean a whole lot. But I mean, escaping it is big. It is a 6/6. I mean, it's one of the worst clocks, and it's one of the more it's susceptible to some of the more common sideboard hate that's out there. So it's possible Kroxa just isn't as popular. It isn't as good as it was a few months ago. I liked the sideboard. I think I don't want the Huntmasters in the sideboard. Like they're good against Burn, for example, but the matchups where I wanted it, I also have 4 Bloodbraids, and that's just so many expensive cards. Like if I'm playing against the Junmir and we've each got 6 lands in play and we're just in a sheer top deck war, then yeah, sure, having them all is great. But it's just a lot of top end. I liked the Pillages. I think I maybe have too many Spell Bombs. Obviously this is a 1 league sample size, so that might not be a good statement, but in theory, Spellbomb's good. Did not see a good spot for the Plague Engineer. In all honesty, a Plague Engineer might not be the ace in the hole that it used to be. It's probably still fine as a one of if you're playing some kind of traverse package. But in all honesty, it never came in. I never thought of really bringing it in. Looking at this again, like, what is it even going to be a slam dunk against? Not blue white, not blitz, not E-Tron. E-Tron, it's fine because it trades for anything, but even then it's just a trade. This deck doesn't really play Ice Fang anymore, so it's less good there. Against Jund, it's not good. Against Gruul, it's not great. Against Dredge, it's fine. Against Goblins, it's great, obviously. So, like, the only, like, great deck that it's good against in the top 12 is, I guess, Goblins and Humans, but that's not a whole lot. So maybe we just don't need Plague Engineer anymore. It sounds crazy to say, because Engineer is so good. Like, when it's good, obviously. But that's the point of a sideboard card. Damping Sphere. The Damping Sphere, I think, was fine. There was only one matchup where I wanted to bring it in, which was against Amulet. Don't think it's good against E-Tron, because they'll just cast their stuff really quickly, because Thought Knot and Reality Smasher costs 4 and 5. It's not like Ugin that costs 8. Yeah, I think I'm happy with the sideboard other than the Hunt Masters. I think 2 is probably excessive. One's probably fine. And then it's possible the Spell Bomb should go back to Brutality. I think 3 of the 5 matches we played in this league, I would have preferred having a Brutality over the Spell Bomb against both blue-white players and against the burn opponent. So yeah, maybe I should go back to the Brutality, probably shave on the Engineers, which sounds crazy. I haven't not played Engineer since the card was released. But I mean, as far as Magic Online meta goes, Plague Engineer doesn't look like it does a whole lot of shining right now. So maybe I can pack some more specific sideboard cards in future leagues. So yeah, I guess that's what I would probably change. I think I would put another Damping Sphere back in. To help with Tron, to help with Amulet, to help with Storm. And I think I would take out the Engineers to do that. Probably put a Brutality back in. Maybe I just keep 3 Spell Bombs and I play 3 Brutalities and I just like shaves. Like this becomes the Damping Sphere. This becomes a Brutality. And then I guess in the main I'd probably shave a Kroxa. I'm honestly interested in experimenting with just playing 4th Kolaghan's Command. Maelstrom Pulse is good, but it's very rarely a 2-for-1. K-Command usually hits whatever you would want a Maelstrom Pulse. Maybe I just play 4 K-Command. That'd be kind of funny. I'm interested in playing a league where I'm playing 4 Kolaghan's Command, so maybe that's what I do next, just as a little experiment. But yeah, other than that, the list felt really, really tight. The blue-white games were all good except for one. The one where I kept Raging Ravine and Forest and 2 spells I could cast and just didn't hit a land for a long time. And honestly, like the E-Tron match was pretty good, except for the one game where they had natural into a really good threat off of the top. The burn matchup was pretty okay. Like I had my sideboard cards against them, but I really just didn't have that good threat to close. Like I had the Brutality in the key spot, but they just drew the burn spells off the top instead of drawing lands to help me stabilize. And then in that last match versus Titan, I ended up picking up game 1, which is not expected. And then games 2 and 3, they kind of just had the Titans. Game 2 against Amulet Titan, I think I had the ability to win. Because I could have played the Ashiok instead of killing the Amulet. Because like if they've got actual Titan and not Summoner's Pact, I don't think I'm winning the game where I play the Ashiok. I mean, I'm not really playing the game where I'm Kolaghan's commanding either, so it was probably definitely right to play the Ashiok in the later stages of Game 2 of Match 5. But other than that, I think I played that match pretty okay. Game 3, there was just not much I can do other than mulligan a perfectly fine hand. Like I can mulligan aggressively for, I guess, Pillage, Damping Sphere. I mean, those are really it though. Like if I had more aces to hard mulligan to, I think I probably would have done it. Like I'm just digging to again the 1 Damping Sphere and the 3 Pillages. So I mean, yeah, my hand was perfectly fine on the play. I think I'm supposed to keep that. And if you think differently, please let me know in the comments. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the wrap up. And if you like content like this and want to see more in the future, please like and subscribe. And until next time, see ya.